Where's my pick?
If you lost your pick, don't panic. It might actually be inside this hole.
But wait, why do all acoustic guitars have this hole anyway? If you've ever wondered the same thing, you came to the right place. In this video, we're doing a quick walkthrough of the different parts of an acoustic guitar and helping you get past the very first hurdle of learning guitar on your own. But that immediately brings up another question. What exactly is an acoustic guitar? First off, you might be thinking, isn't this just a folk guitar? What's an acoustic guitar? Well, here's an easy way to think about it. A folk guitar is actually a type of acoustic guitar. The word acoustic basically means it doesn't need electricity or an amp. The guitar itself can naturally produce a clear, loud sound. The most common opposite example would be the electric guitar. And if you're more into electric guitars, you can check out my previous video. This is Tommy, and today we're learning about acoustic guitars. The two most common types of acoustic guitars are classical guitars and folk guitars. Although honestly, those names aren't super accurate. Technically speaking, classical guitars are nylon-string acoustic guitars, while folk guitars are steel-string acoustic guitars. Because steel-string acoustics are commonly used for folk music, people gradually just got used to calling them folk guitars. Now let's go through the guitar piece by piece. First up, the headstock. You can already spot differences between classical and folk guitars just from the headstock design. Some high-end steel string acoustics do use slotted headstocks, but most folk guitars use a solid headstock with tuning pegs like this. Meanwhile, most modern classical guitars use a slotted headstock. The main reason comes down to the strings. Classical guitars use nylon strings, while folk guitars use steel strings. Since the string tension is different, the headstock structures are designed differently too. Another important part of the headstock is the tuning pegs. Even though they may look different, they all work the same way. Besides the thickness of the string itself, these tuning pegs are what determine the pitch of each string. And the rule is simple. The tighter the string, the higher the pitch. The looser the string, the lower the pitch. Next, let's look at the neck. Starting from the nut all the way down to the body, this whole area is called the fretboard. The metal strips, called frets, divide the board into different positions. Most steel string acoustic guitars usually have 21 frets, though 20 and 22 frets are also common. Classical guitars typically have 19 frets. By pressing the string down at different frets, you change the vibrating length of the string, which changes the pitch. And when you hold down specific strings on specific frets to create a harmonious combination of notes, that's what we call a chord. Next up, the body. Back to the question from the beginning of the video. Why do acoustic guitars all have this hole? This hole is called the sound hole. When you pluck a string, the string vibrates. That vibration transfers into the top of the guitar. The hollow body of the guitar, also called the resonating chamber, amplifies and shapes those vibrations, and the sound then projects outward through the sound hole. That becomes the guitar sound we actually hear. And that's why acoustic guitars can produce a loud, beautiful sound completely on their own without being plugged in. That's basically the core principle behind all acoustic instruments. Of course, if you want to stop dropping stuff into this hole, you could always stop using a pick. But whether you should use a pick or play fingerstyle, that's a whole topic on its own. We'll save that for the next video. Finally, let's take a look at the bridge. Compared to electric guitars, acoustic guitar bridges are much simpler. There's no tremolo system or extra hardware. The bridge mainly exists to hold the strings in place. This small white piece here is called the saddle. Together with the nut, it defines the effective vibrating length of the string. Its position, height, and material all directly affect the guitar's intonation, tone, and even playability. So even though it looks tiny and unimportant, it's actually a critical component. Now let's talk about how the strings are attached. Because classical and folk guitars use different types of strings, their string mounting methods are different too. Steel string acoustic guitars use bridge pins to secure the strings. This design is strong enough to handle the higher tension of steel strings. Classical guitars, on the other hand, use nylon strings, which have much lower tension. So the strings are usually tied and locked in place with knots. It's a simple and lightweight method that won't damage the nylon strings. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.